I'm sure some of you have seen that short clip that I've put on YouTube. I'll try and show it you now in case you haven't seen it. President Trump, I've never heard him swear before, but he's obviously not very happy.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel was committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
The breath of fresh air that President Trump is, having a completely natural reaction instead of some pre-rehearsed soundbite written up by a staffer. He just says it like it is. He's not happy with either of them. And I think what we've got to look at, whatever Trump actually did, he did to push towards peace. That's what he does. He doesn't want war. He doesn't want war in Ukraine. What did he say with Ukraine? I want you to stop killing each other. And while we've got him in a powerful position, the West has more hope than it's ever had. Because with the other bloody lunatics, we've no chance. And this would have escalated. I mean, if Trump hadn't won, God knows what the world would look like. And I firmly believe that. And I don't normally blog about the Middle East. I don't get involved with it. But the Middle East was dragging us into their problems. And unfortunately, without taking sides, as it were, I don't trust regimes that live behind an iron curtain type existence where freedoms are intervened. You can't, women aren't getting educated. I wouldn't like to live in a place like that. And I think that looking at the world leaders that we've got, I've got to say, I think we've got some of the most useless specimens we've ever had. I mean, Khan is so dubious to me. Not an unintelligent man. This has nothing to do with intelligence, by the way. It's not that they're thick or they're stupid. They're working to an agenda that's against the people. What gets me with this, after I made that video yesterday about what was going on, and then, of course, troops secured a ceasefire during the early hours. I can't remember, maybe 11:30 last night, actually. I was just busy. I've had a house guest. Everybody was happy. People felt relieved. And that's what Trump brings to the table, quite honestly. And Reuters reported only about, well, by the time this goes out, it's probably going to be about an hour, but 6 minutes after Reuters reported that people were celebrating in Iran and in Israel, celebrating a ceasefire. Because most normal people don't want war. Normal people don't want to go to war. It doesn't matter what country they're from. Most people want to get up in the morning, brush their teeth, get their kids ready for school, wherever they're living, run a home and enjoy family life, enjoy time with their friends, book holidays, have a nice time. That's what people strive for, just getting through life. And we've got these politicians that are taking it away from us in increments at a time. And this is why I do something every single day. It's the least I can do. I'm not perfect. I don't get everything right. And it would be wrong of you to expect me to be like that. Because all I am is someone commentating on it. And my goal with these videos, especially the ones on YouTube, is to keep people sane. Keep them normal. Try and help them get through it without being overreactionary to news that you get fed by the media. Because they'll have you worried. They want you worried all the time. Because once they've got you worried, once they've got you hooked, they want you to come back for more. Oh God, how am I going to cope today? What's it say on the news? How am I going to cope today? That's how they survive. That's how a lot of podcasters survive. Our side, just because it's people we agree with, doing things that we agree with, they're not necessarily just putting information out because they want to give it to you. It's an income. It's their livelihood. It's the only thing that they're paying their bills with. I'm not doing that. You can't compare me to a proper podcaster because I'm not doing it for my income. It's not my business. I earn my money elsewhere. And this is what I do as part of something that I can do. I could quite easily not do this and not feel the pain, financial pain. I get a bit of money off YouTube. I don't mind taking some off Google. They make a lot more money out of me with their adverts that they're allowed to put on. And as I say, I keep it to a minimum, just the first 2 that you can click off. I don't have ad breaks. I don't have, it's not worth having an ad break. It's like having a brew with a friend. You're just having a chat, aren't you? I talk and then you respond on the thread. You don't have to always agree with me, but don't be rude if you don't. I'm not rude to you. I don't go on other people's pages looking for you, telling you you're a bloody idiot. I'm the least idiot you'll come across. I'm actually pretty measured, but I do like having fun. And it's not easy when people are worried about day-to-day life, the cost of everything. But I've just watched Rachel Reeves in an interview, and she's absolutely clueless. And it's talking about basically taxing billionaires, that reform wouldn't tax them because they want them to invest in the country. But they still give people a £20,000 starting point allowance rather than, I think, is it 12? I can't believe we have to pay tax if you're only earning 12 grand a year. Good grief. Anyway, reform would do it differently, and she's picking holes in it. Well, she's trying to, but she's numb as they come. And she is the star attraction from the thick table at school, as far as I'm concerned. She shouldn't be in that job. How the hell we've ended up with this front bench? It's dumber and dumber. Repeat. Adria Leda and David Lammy, don't get me going on him. But she's repelling the idea, but doesn't really know what she's talking about. She just comes out with a soundbite. And that's what I like about Trump. That's no soundbite. That's him. That's a man in his 70s getting in a bloody helicopter to fly to NATO to talk them all down again off the ledge because these crazy idiots, these crazy politicians, warmongering politicians, I'm not taking sides here, they're all as bad as one another. As he said, they've been fighting each other that long, they've forgotten what the fuck they're fighting for. He's absolutely right. And in the meantime, people lose their lives. People lose their loved ones. I hate it. It sickens me. And Rachel Reeves is there in this soundbite about taxing billionaires. Well, this is what, and it's just soundbite material. And I thought, if you believed or even understood what you were saying, if you just understood it, why are energy prices so high? Why are we buying, this is it, why are we buying gas from Norway when Norway extracts it from the very same seabed in the North Sea that we ignore? Why are we doing that? Why are we buying gas from Norway who have to pipe it out the North Sea and then pipe it back to us coming out the North Sea? We have gas reserves in the North Sea. Why are we buying it from them at an extortionate price to bring it back to us when we could extract it ourselves? That's how stupid these people are, because they've got an evidence-starved obsession with driving us down a particular route that will just make us poorer. Things won't get better. Energy won't get cheaper. Energy won't get cleaner. The way they're doing it, we'll just be living like a third world. We'll be having power cuts because the systems that they're setting up won't work. I look at people like Ed Miliband driving this agenda and then look at his backers. It makes a very interesting tableau before your very eyes. So I'm sorry, but we have got the worst politicians for geopolitics, like what's going on with the Middle East, for basically running the country. We couldn't have a worse set of politicians. I can't wait for 2029 and the opportunity to have an election to wipe them out, to get them right out there. I hope it's a rip-roaring success for Reform. I hope they get a 300-seat majority, if that's even possible. I hope they do really well, and I don't even care if nobody has any experience at all in politics, because it's all the ones with experience, all the ones with the political degrees that have led us down a road where we've had everything at our fingertips, from manufacturing to farming to fishing. It's all been at our fingertips. Innovation, finance, it's all been here in this country, and they've squandered it. Absolutely squandered your taxes, my taxes, and everyone's taxes. And we shouldn't be sat in this position. They deserve everything that's coming to them, and I hope it's redundancy. I hope it's unemployment. I hope they don't get a seat. I'm having a bit of a rant, but, you know, Trumpy's got me going. If he can be so candid, so can we.